Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me on my art journey today. I'm going to try to do something a little bit new, so hopefully you'll just hang out and enjoy the ride with me. And if you are looking for additional content of an artist learning and trying many new things, please hit that like and subscribe. So wanting to take part in the World Watercolor Month thing, which is like a new like a prompt every day, and I'm not very good at those. I actually don't stick with them very much. So I decided what I could do is kind of play with it a little. For example, the prompts, I'm not going to be following them on the day exact because I went through that with Inktober and it didn't work out for me because I really have this idea. And I forgot I had this. Unfortunately, I don't even know what brand it is. But it's a watercolor book that I got, let's see, in 2014. Oh, Strathmore. Okay, so it's a Strathmore book. I've only painted a couple things in it, as you can tell. This little dragon. Apparently I felt like making whatever Maleficent-y thing kind of thing this is. The prompt I'll be doing is pretty much favorite color. Well, that's easy. I love like olive green or that green yellow and aqua. So I'm going to use those two because I don't really have one that's better than the other. So we're going to see how that works. And this is just a jar full of random animals. So we're going to pick a random animal to pair up with our dragon, which, wow, this is like tight. Oh, goodness. Anyway, to pair up with a dragon to kind of make a blended creature. And this thing is so packed full. It's like ridiculously packed full. So what do we get? I have no idea what that is. A fossa. So instead of just picking one or the other, I'm going to go over to my computer and we're going to Google these. We're going to pick whichever one seems like it'll fit best with the whole compilation thing I have going on. Anyway, so join me over there. So apparently it is a dog. I like this one because he's really furry. I'm not usually very inspired by dogs, don't take that wrong, but like drawing them is not easy. I'm pretty sure it'll look a lot like Falcor if I do this. Okay, now that's cool. Yes, I'm a cat person. And there go the fireworks. Because it is the 4th of July when I'm recording this. Okay, those are pretty. Sorry, little guy. This speaks to my inner artist person. They're kind of like, I don't know, they're so cute. I think we are definitely going to go with the fossa. I wonder if I should look up some things from their environment. Okay, so now that we've looked everything up, here we are back to our little sketchbook or watercolor book. Get over to a clean page. That's interesting stitching. Right, so I went ahead and found a reference photo just because I fought with freehanding at first. And even she's not perfect, but whatever. And then I ditched the reference photo, just start adding my own stuff here. And I want her to have really a lot of flowing hair, and I want this dragon creature to be right here. Kind of like they're, almost like they're whispering secrets to each other, but I feel like the creature, see, the fossa, he's coming together. I originally tried to think of how I wanted to do this as a dragon, maybe more dragony head, but I decided I really wanted it to be mostly the fossa head. I'm going to go ahead and dig out my paints. I put stickers over my Altoid tin now. I'm going to use this green gold. It's a Qor watercolor. This is my little Qor set. I like that color. And I have my other set. I'm going to go ahead and use this olive green. And I've made this blend that I know it's not quite aqua, but it's
kind of an aqua blue. Got my paint water. I've got my also paint water, because I try to keep one of them a bit more clean and one to just rinse off the brush to start with. I try. And now we're going to start off with the actual Altoids. Give me some cinnamon. It's amazing how hard cinnamon was for me to say when I was a kid. Okay, and got a basic brush. Mix me up some colors. I did have to add a little bit more green to the green gold by Qor. I just wasn't getting quite the color I wanted. It was a little too much of that golden poop yellow, as I said. Let's go ahead and put this down. I'm just going to get in my base colors right now. But yeah, my whole plan for today is really just going to be about relaxing. Here, add some salt. I ended up getting a 4-day weekend. The most of it I've actually spent doing YouTube stuff. And you'll notice I use salt that already has paint on it. It's because I keep them in this little container. And then I can reuse them if I need to. I like it because it adds a little bit of color, a little bit of debris. It's basically a little bit of personality. Okay, and then, yeah, so anyway, my 4-day weekend is mostly just, I wanted to spend it doing art videos, hanging out with my husband, and basically relaxing. I stress all the time, like all the time without fail. And I don't take enough time just by myself to just do things. So today's plan is really just this painting. And you'll notice I did go ahead and record this post-production. I'm speeding all this up because it took me 5 to 5.5 hours or so to do this painting. I had to do it in stages. It was definitely interesting. So I've been watching a couple of different artists, and I really love how they do these full double page spreads and everything else. But just like when you're doing a coloring book that has a double page spread, there are some challenges. One of the biggest challenges is going to be that seam in the middle. And yeah, it looks cool because it starts on one page, it has the bulk of it, it drifts over into the other page, and that's always kind of neat. But as you'll see here, the color does some weird stuff at the center. Never really noticed that when I was watching other artists do this. Maybe it's just the Strathmore book. I'm not sure. But it kind of pulls in, but then it also has a seam next to the seam where the color doesn't seem as rich. So I really had to work that a lot. The second challenge I ran into is definitely post-production. I like to scan my stuff because I'm going to do prints. Obviously, no one's really going to get the original. This is in my book. I will be keeping it. But on that spread, I worked for probably a good 2 hours trying to get it into like different scans. I tried photographing it. Scanner actually ended up working better. Trying to keep it from being blurry down the center. Trying to deal with the dark shadows, and again you see that seam that's happening there. So I might have to rethink how I do this in the future. I might try doing it where, yeah, it comes across the fold, but maybe not as much of the bulk of the actual animal. So I mentioned World Watercolor Month earlier. So if you go to doodlewash.com and they have a page for World Watercolor Month for July. I'm just going to go directly from the page. It's 31 days when artists around the globe come together to paint the world with beautiful watercolor and raise awareness for arts education to get supplies for kids who need them via the Dreaming Zebra Foundation. It was created by Charles O. Shields, and this looks like it was in like 2016. He worked really hard trying to get official days put into the calendar, and yeah, so it's actually an official thing. It is July Watercolor Month. But they also on doodlewash.com if you're ever challenged for art ideas, they actually have prompts every single month as far as I can tell. Again, I don't plan to do prompts all the time because I want to feel challenged, but at the same time, I think they almost give me more of an artist block than they relieve. Sure, I like to take part. Like I mentioned, I did Inktober, but it just isn't very easy for me. At the same time, when you're on a channel, you're trying to find things to help inspire you. And so prompt lists are definitely inspirational. So I'm going to go ahead here and just doing a little more stuff. This particular painting took a lot of time. I started back into this after the fireworks show. So I stood out on the balcony. We watched fireworks from all over town. It was kind of like being a dog watching a tennis ball because it was back and forth across the sky trying to see things. But with this particular painting, like I said, 5 hours sitting. Lots of sitting. Now, I don't mention the time it takes out of a desire for any kind of pity. Obviously, this is a choice. This is my passion. But I don't think everyone understands how much time goes into an art piece. Art is definitely a luxury for people to purchase. It's not the same as like food or gas for your car, anything that you actually need to have in life. But it does fulfill a need. It gives us something we need on a soul level. For me, I have to create it. I just need to create. When I'm not creating, I'm not happy. An unhappy me, unhappy Sheila, is a very cranky person. And my husband doesn't like that. But just think about that whenever your friends are doing their different textile arts or just creating anything. The time it takes to put into it, the love that they put into creating that. Gone completely off of whatever topic I thought about having, and I need an Aleve because after sitting for so long, my back is pretty bad. It has been for the last week or two. It just flares up off and on. So on these, I'm trying really hard to get like a glow effect. One of the biggest things I'm aware of in my art is that I really need practice. I work full time, so I feel sometimes a little cheated for time because I still want to spend time doing what everyone else does. I want to spend time with my family. I need to spend time on housework. Job takes 9 hours out of your day. That's a lot of your time when you're awake. And I don't want to feel pressure, but I'm not learning all the fundamentals I need. And at some point I need to do that. So that when I say I'm on an art journey, that's what I mean. I need to learn these things, and you're along for the ride with me. So yeah, it really is a journey. I want to do the glowy things because I see a lot of artists do it. I'm trying to learn a lot from different people I watch. So I don't know if I accomplished a glow. What do you think? Do you think it's a glow? These are supposed to be glowy sprites. Do you think that they look like glowy sprites? That is a good question. Now I'm going to try to do my Polychromos and use my Gamsol to blend. I'm really liking how she looks so far. I'm not liking the nose. The nose is not making me happy. It's a process. It's a lot of learning. I see something in my mind's eye, it doesn't always come out like I picture it. And a lot of that too is fundamentals of anatomy. I need to focus on that and lighting. I think anatomy and lighting are my two biggest issues. A lot of people have gone in and talked about lazy artists. I hate this Polychromos. I do not like it. Now she's too stark. I'm going to try to add a little more watercolor to fix it. Just not digging what happened here. The hair. I'm loving the hair. The face is definitely stark. And I'm trying to lose my voice. I had to stop and get a little water. I'm moving on to the inking here, and we're almost out of time today. I hope you have enjoyed just watching me as I do this. But again, as mentioned, I know I'm a lazy artist. I know that I have a lot I have to cover, a lot I really need to learn. And I just want you guys to stick with me. Watch. If you do like to learn from an artist or watch an artist who's learning, then this might be the place for you. I really like how my little faucet dragon looks. And the face on the girl isn't that bad, except the tip of the nose really was kind of a pain. I don't know if I articulated the branches well enough. There's not a lot of texturing. I tried to get some, but not enough. But I have kind of a process, as you can tell. Normally I like to do the Polychromos. I just didn't like it this time. I'm going to go ahead now. I'm adding in my gold. This is my copperplate gold. It's the Dr. P.H. Martin. I think this is really working great on the hair. Loving the little dotty dot. Anyway, we're at that point, and I say anyway all the time, don't I? We are almost done. I'm adding the little spritey sprites, adding some little highlight to her nose, fighting with that, and just all my little white spots. And here she is. She is complete. Anyway, if you enjoyed watching this, please do hit that like and subscribe. I want to learn alongside everyone else and just share my process and share my thoughts. Hope everyone in the US had a great 4th of July and that it was safe and wonderful for everyone, and please stay healthy.